Hi folks, and welcome back to another Travels of Red Rover. This week we're off to the Bisti De-Na-Zin Wilderness Area. So this is the entrance to the trail out to Bisti Badlands. There's a barbed wire fence just past the entrance area here, and the actual overall entrance is way over there. In addition to a good parking lot with nice gravel parking lot, there is this very nice area for picnicking, a little shelter, and it has some handicap parking right here. The parking lot is nice and flat, as you can see. Red Rover over there, little furnace going. It's going to be a much cloudier today, and we're expecting some rain, so it may get a bit gnarly down here. They also have a 2-hole pit toilet. It's brand new. It was a bit dirty while we were here. Kind of been abused a bit, but it's quite functional. And some new handicap parking right beside it. New cement down here. So on the walk out to where the formations are here, there are lots of these little teeny streams. There was a pretty big snowfall a couple weeks ago, and this is pretty much snowmelt, and it produces a very sticky, very slippery material. Corinne's going to look for a ford across the little one she's gotten, and every once in a while it kind of fools you, because if you catch the end, it can be very, very slippery and cause you to slide, which I did, and now I'm covered in mud. So it's a bit of a tricky walk out. There is no trail per se. It's kind of just a big, wide mud flat that just seems to go and go and go. So it is a bit of a healthy walk out. We've reached the first set of teeny little hoodoos. They're quite cute. They look like a group of mushrooms. Little rock mushrooms here. Corinne stopped to get a couple photographs to put on her GPS to mark the location. So we have a specific location in mind that we're trying to get to. Unfortunately, we've been heavily distracted by these really cool little mushroom-like structures, and they go out just about as far as the eye can see here. Well, we've arrived at the next little formation. It's more little mushrooms. And really the only way you can describe these is actually cute. They're so tiny and interesting. It took us about an hour to walk out to the Cracked Eggs, which is going to be our photographic location for the evening. And they are absolutely stunning, beautiful structures. There were just an amazing number of potential compositions as we searched around through the eggs to decide on what we wanted to shoot. So this is the first shot I've got set up here. I've set up my tripod, and I'm using this little piece of waterway right in there to lead the eye into the photograph. I'll probably do this as a square crop, and I've got the focus right on that rock right there, and I'm hoping that that's going to work out well with the kind of multicolored rocks in the background. Now I've kind of got it set up so that I don't have a lot of space, separation from the front to the back. I don't know if that's going to work or not, but if you get lower, because there's a big trough in the background there, it actually gets worse. So I'm thinking this is going to look pretty good. The rocks in the middle here are, they kind of look like 3 eggs cracking open, or you could also call them three little roses, because they have that sort of petal-like quality. And I'm going to try this shot from several different angles, because it's a little unbalanced in the background. I've got a little too much going on way up here, and nothing going on way out here. But then again, a square crop will tend to fix that. Anyway, that's what I'm trying, and we'll see how it looks. Here's my next shot. I've got these three really kind of cool little hat-like structures sitting on the hoodoos out in front of me here. The first challenge was trying to get them as balanced as possible and not have the background become too much of a nuisance. So what I've been doing is moving back and forth, trying to see if I can keep the distance from this one way out here, my fuzzy finger, to be too far away from the two in the middle. And it's a bit further away than I'd like, but I've decided that this is probably the best angle to shoot from. The other thing I'm doing is I'm shooting a little bit down on them, and the reason I'm doing that is I'm trying to take away a little bit of the sandy clay structures behind, and just get them to sort of sit against that without being too obtrusive in the background. What I might try to do is actually get much lower and then shoot up, but I'm not sure that's going to work either, but I'm going to give that a go in a few minutes. So anyway, this is my first shot. I'll probably format this as a 4x3 or possibly a 1x1 and see how it comes out. Right now, because I'm using a tripod, I'm shooting these all at ISO 100, and I'm using an f somewhere between 4 and 11, depending on how much the background I want in. I've also stepped a little bit further away. I'm using a telephoto lens so that I can create a little bit more separation from the three little figures in front of me and the structures behind. So we'll just have to see how all that works and comes out.
Shawn's been doing a great job of describing all his compositions, and you've probably had a great view of a number of the rock formations here. I've been going around doing some of my own work, and there's a particular composition I want to demonstrate to you now. Right here in front of me is this interesting placement of one rock on another, where the lower rock is almost a bowl shape, and it almost looks like a yolk left in an eggshell. And when I was working on this, I first started from the other side, over here. I have to walk carefully to avoid the mud. And one of the things that I noticed as I was setting up a little bit higher and closer in is that there was a bright patch of snow behind it. And that can be very distracting because the snow is very intensely white and there's starting to be some shadows around this rock structure. So I took the camera and tripod and rotated over here so I wasn't creating more shadows for myself. And now on this angle, as I close in, you can see that there's much less snow, and I can actually zoom in with my camera quite closer, and that last bit of snow is barely visible because I've set up my camera with a very shallow depth of field and a large aperture. So always look for information that's, or objects that are in your picture that are going to distract the viewer's eye. And you want to do everything you can so that there's no distractions behind or creeping in to the edges of your photo.
So we've had absolutely spectacular conditions, at least for walking around out here. It's been bright blue skies. It's probably in the middle 50s right now. The wind has been low until just now. The wind is starting to come up a little bit, and it has been just a beautiful day. We're out here in shirt sleeves doing this shoot. What a wonderful, wonderful day for that. Now, this particular shot that I'm taking is really just an overall shot. It's probably a little too messy to be a good shot. There's just too much in it. But I often like to take shots like this just from the point of view of having a record of the area that we've been shooting. And I will often take this kind of a shot and keep it, if for no other reason, to use it as a reference shot later on when we're planning to come back. Anyway, we'll see how this comes out. There's really nothing special about it. I'm shooting at f/16. I'm way back, standing on the hill, quite a ways from the shot itself, and I'll probably format this shot as a 9x16, or a 16x9, I should say. Anyway, we'll see what it looks like here in a minute. So it's funny, Corinne and I left this shot to near the end of our shots because it's still completely well lit. The sun is 10 minutes from going down behind the hill behind us here. It's really brought out the yellows and greens and reds and browns in the hoodoos here. So we are overtaking this shot now. Very straightforward shot. There's really not a lot going on here. I'm using a little bit of water path that goes down to the center hoodoo as my main subject, and then the other ones are kind of all ancillary to that. And right now I've got it framed up as a 9x16, but I might frame it up as a square shot when I actually develop it, because really all the interesting stuff is right in the middle. So Corinne and I are finishing up some of our afternoon shots here. Corinne's just off to my right and walking down the little muddy path here and finding these little slots in the hoodoos, which are really beautifully lit right now. And the combination of the shadows and the lighting just make them gorgeous. So we've been in here shooting these, trying to create some nice compositions as we kind of bring this part of the evening or afternoon to an end. So we're about to wrap up. It's been an absolutely beautiful afternoon, but with it being so slippery and difficult, so many streams to ford, we're gonna leave and get out while we can still see what we're doing. Yeah, it's getting too shadowed, so anything between now and sunset wouldn't look too great. And we have about an hour walk out, even though it's just a mile and 3/4, but it's slow going. Yeah, it is slow going. Lots of little streams to ford. So anyway, Corinne, what did you think of the photography out here?
Oh, I enjoyed it. I think they're really unique shapes I haven't seen anywhere else before, and so many choices of compositions.
Yeah, that was probably the most interesting part. There are just literally thousands and thousands of compositions, and trying to pick which one you wanted to do and when you wanted to do it was a real challenge, because it's like hitting a bonanza, and the light in the late afternoon was just absolutely beautiful on the little hoodoos here.
So that about wraps it up. I hope if you enjoyed this video, you'll give us a thumbs up.
And if you'd like to keep track of us, please subscribe. We really need more subscribers.
We really appreciate everyone who's subscribed, and we love to hear comments from you. So if you have any thoughts or questions or comments, if you've been here, let us know down in the section below.
So until next time, bye for now.
Bye for now.